So there was a group scheduled today, but it got canceled. So I'm just going to take time to just jazz with you guys right now, talk a little bit about unmanageability, what that is, et cetera, et cetera. If somebody comes on, that'll be great. If not, then it really is no big deal. You can go back to this at any point in your life and see what's up. So what happens is the first thing we need to do is admit that our lives had become unmanageable. So to manage something means to survive at achieving one's aim. So if we're managing addiction, this is like the idea of a functioning addict or a functioning alcoholic. They see themselves able to manage an addiction and all the other functions of life that are required. And when you get down to the actual functions of life that are required and how addiction can impact those as a result of our powerlessness, we're going to get into all the crazy things that happen. So, I mean, addiction is a physical and mental disease. So, what does it take to be? What does it take to be? Give me a second. I just lost my train of thought because of that text message. What does it take? What does it take to just sustain life? So to manage life, what does that take? Well, let's start. It takes food, water, shelter, right? I'm looking at a thing right here. It says it takes air, water, sleep, food, clothing, and shelter, and safety. So those are the things that we need. Now, does addiction get in the way of the quality of air? Well, you could ask a cigarette smoker, a marijuana smoker, crack smoker, meth smoker, whatever the fuck it is, and you can see if that gets in the way of their quality of air. So it's quality and quantity. You need a certain amount of it, and you need a certain kind of it, like good or bad or whatever the case may be. Same thing with water. Are you getting, first off, water? Or I'm drinking coffee right now. Are you drinking soda? Like, what are you drinking? And then what is the quantity of it? Are you getting enough of it? Are you not getting enough of it? There's a certain amount, an optimized amount that we all need. And we want to make sure that we're getting all of that. In addition, sleep. Am I getting enough sleep? 7 to 9 hours. You could go to all the data around this. Is it good quality sleep, bad quality sleep? Shelter. Am I living under a bridge? Am I living in a house? Am I affording my house? It's like all these things actually go into it. And addiction can get in the way of this. Addiction can get in the way of sleep. It can get in the way of air, food, shelter, clothing. And if it is, then maybe our lives become manageable. But some people don't even worry about that. They're just like, yeah, it's not that big of a deal. I'm not too worried about that. I mean, I don't need all this. I don't need all that. Well, there's other areas of life that may become difficult or impossible to manage, manipulate, or control, which, for instance, finances, for instance, bills, for instance, relationships, appointments, taking care of pets and children. This is where other areas of life become unmanageable. They're difficult to manage. And we can't manipulate these. We can't control these. Um, we try to, but what ends up happening is we look more insane. And the sooner that we admit this is unmanageable. Now, some people can manage it. They can manipulate the people around them. They can control the people around them. They can manage areas of their life. Mommy doesn't have a problem. Daddy's okay. They can manipulate and control it, but eventually it becomes unmanageable. You can't control it anymore. The cat's out of the bag, and that's when it becomes even bigger of a problem. And we have to recognize the problem is addicts we don't recognize that as a problem from drugs and alcohol. We just see that as a problem that can be fixed and I can continue to drink, but that's not the case at all. So, I really don't want to go deep into this. Usually I'm sitting here running group and I'm out of here. You can check out some other shit.